Max Inc. Radio, radio for the people, Diamond Head there, and Helpless. And Diamond Head's on their first U.S. tour ever right now. They're actually going to be in Kansas City. They're on the road traveling there at this very moment. And the founder of Diamond Head and the frontman, Brian Tatler, joins us. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for inviting me on the show. I'm travelling along towards Kansas City, somewhere I've never been before. And it's going well. The tour's going really well. We've done 7 dates already, and tonight will be number 8.
Number 8. How many stops are on the tour here?
There's 17 in all.
Okay.
So we've packed in 17 dates over a period of 18 days. So it's quite a tough tour, especially on the singer. But it's so far so good.
That's awesome, Brian. You know, Diamond has been around for 35 years. You've been through many band members. How does that change each time you change band members and the aspects of the band? How does that take what direction does that take Diamond Head?
Well, it always does change the sound of the band. I always used to think it wouldn't, but somehow each player plays in their own way, and it does affect the overall sound. Sometimes not even for the benefits, really, of the overall thing. You can get in a better player, and the whole band can suffer because it just doesn't work as well as it did. Like there's a sort of gel that you're looking for, and you don't want people to overplay, and you don't want, it's just all got to work right. Each person's got to sort of complement the next and be aware, when to let the others shine, really.
Brian, obviously no one is ever going to take a song of yours and make it better because it's yours, your original. Metallica's certainly given it a try. They've covered several of your songs over the years, and they give Diamond Head a lot of credit as an influence of theirs. What does that mean to you, having another band that has had that kind of success talk about you in such a positive light?
Well, of course, that's been one of the best things that's ever happened to Diamond Head, the fact that, a successful band like Metallica has championed the name and the songs. It's just proved that, they were good in the first place, and they spotted the potential in the songs, and that helped keep the name of the band and the songs alive, really. And so those songs that were written like 30 years ago are people are still enjoying them, and we're still able to play them, and Metallica is still able to play them live, and they always go down really well. So whatever it was that we were doing back in 1980 and 79-80 when the songs were written was the right thing, and some kind of longevity was built into them. The quality must have been in the song at the time. Well, it's very difficult to remember what it was like writing them, really, and realizing what we've done. Success is usually the measure of a big band and all that. We were only like a little band with we didn't have a record deal, and we only had like a local manager. So it wasn't like we thought we were going to become huge or challenge the world or anything. We just hoped we would, and make our way as best as we could. Learn as we go. But the fact that the songs are still around now, and the biggest metal band in the world, champion Diamond Head, has been awesome, really, for this band over the years.
Brian, my name's Dave, and it's very nice to meet you. I wanted to know, does it bother you that Diamond Head never gained the popularity or success that so many believe they deserved?
I'm sorry. I'm ever so sorry. You're going to have to repeat that.
Does it bother you that Diamond Head never gained the popularity or success that so many believed you guys deserved?
Okay. It doesn't bother me because I've been looking to get the royalties on those Metallica songs.
Very nice.
So that's kept me going.
Sure.
I think if I'd have made nothing out of that material, like if I'd never had any of the publishing, it would have driven me up the wall. Sure. But the fact that I made some money out of them, it's not, managed to buy a house and stuff, has kept me going. But I always think the bands that are at the top of the tree, the the Metallicas, the Iron Maidens, the AC/DCs. I can see why they're there.
Yes.
They've worked very, very hard to get there. They're very consistent. And are you still there?
Oh, yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, sorry, I could hear a beep going on. I thought I'd lost you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're very consistent, and they make, good album after good album and tour after tour. And I think they earn their place at the top of the tree. They don't just have a hit single and fly to the top of the stadiums, do they? They start at the club level like everybody else, but they keep going. I mean, one of the problems with Diamond Head was we didn't really have the management or the label to get us over to the States.
Right.
We just seemed to keep concentrating on touring in the UK, and then eventually kind of run out of steam. And then the band fractured on its third album, and then the record label dropped us. We didn't have the longevity of a band like Iron Maiden, so we did what we could. But I'm certainly not frustrated or disappointed
Of course not.
by the band, because I can see how difficult it is.
Sure.
From the inside. I can really, really appreciate what Metallica have done to get themselves up that ladder, and more importantly, to stay there, because that's such a feat.
Yes.
Absolutely. Brian, 35 years, as we talked about, you guys started way back in 1976. It's been a great run for you. Looking back on all that, is there anything that sticks in your mind as something that you wished you might have done differently to sort of change where you've been?
Yeah. Yes, I think one of the biggest problems was management. If we could have had a successful management company take on the band, to use Metallica's example again, I think Lars Ulrich pretty much hunted down Peter Mensch, already managing bands like AC/DC and the Scorpions. So we already had a lot of track record and success, and talked Peter Mensch's management company, Q Prime, into managing Metallica. Now, if we'd have done that, things might have been different.
Oh, yeah.
But we seem to stick with our local manager because it was kind of a family connection. The singer's mother was going out with this guy, Reg, who worked at the factory. She worked at his factory, and they took on the role of managing the band, and it was probably not a good thing. It seemed good at first because they made money available to buy things like equipment, and we went in the studio and stuff. But I think ultimately they didn't know how to take the band around the world and to keep it together, and it sort of got out of hand and eventually, as I say, fractured and split up.
Sure. It's Dave again. I have a two-part question for you.
Hello there.
Who are you listening to right now? Like, what bands are you listening to right now?
You mean new bands?
Or what's in your CD player right now? Like, what are you literally listening to right now? This week.
Just had some Kings of Leon on the CD player. I like Muse a lot. I've got some Muse with me. We bought all kinds of things over to make the journeys shorter.
Sure.
I still like old, some of the older bands, and I still listen to bands from the 70s. But I've been trying to get into, new products and listen to new bands. But it's rare that I find a band like Muse who seem to have almost like a world-conquering ability. I think they've got great songs, and I think all the three players are great, and the singer's absolutely amazing. So I've been into Muse for about 10 years or so now, and I just think they're going to, conquer the world.
Oh, that's awesome. So is that also who you'd like to see live right now? Would that be the same band?
Say that again, something live?
Yeah, who would you like to see live right now?
Live now.
Like in concert?
I'd be happy to see Muse. I've seen U2 4 times, and I always enjoy U2 live.
Oh, right on.
I've seen Muse a couple of times. I always enjoy AC/DC as well. I've seen them probably 10 times. They always put on a good show. I'm a big AC/DC fan.
Oh, very cool.
They're awesome, man. They're definitely awesome.
Yeah, they rock.
Brian,
They rock.
they do, man. Big U.S. tour for you. Lots of stops. This is your first U.S. tour. How come the Diamond Head U.S. tour hasn't happened sooner?
Well, I can only think, we should have done a tour like this back in 1981 or 82. And I can only think maybe the money or the logistics of it were just too difficult to fathom out for, manager. And maybe we were asking too much, because I think the best way to do something like this is to come with a really small crew, preferably one person or something.
Right.
And stay in motels and, do it fairly cheaply. So because of the cost of doing the thing in the first place, flights and visas and hotels and diesel and all that, it's all man's up. So, fortunately, this band's got people in it now that can sort things like that out. I mean, our drummer Carl has been working on this for 6 months with our agent Dean. Dean from the Paramore group. So without that kind of effort and energy being put into this happen, we wouldn't even be here now. And I don't even think the Diamond Head's management had that much about them back in the day that they could have sorted out a tour like this.
Right.
Wow.
Well, Brian, we definitely are happy that you made it to the U.S. We're ecstatic that you're doing a U.S. tour. Tonight you're in Kansas City. You're at Knuckleheads in Kansas City. If you're in that area, go and check them out. Tomorrow, looks like you're in St. Paul, and then
That's right.
And then Wednesday, or the Thursday rather, the 25th, you're in Wausau, Wisconsin, which is just north of Madison, by the way, at the Wild Horse Saloon. And then there's a Milwaukee date, Shank Hall, on August 28th. And so if you're in the Wisconsin area, get out and see Diamond Head. They're just freaking fantastic. Brian Tatler, thank you very much for joining us today, man.
Thank you very much for inviting us on your show. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, metal horns to you, bro.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
How about a little M.I. Evil, Diamond Head, In the Bastard, and Max Inc. Radio?